Yeah, so hi. Okay, hello everyone. Yeah, let me start presenting. Okay, just give me a second. Share my screen. Olvin, can you please enable screen sharing?
Oh, okay. Start.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you able to? Oh, let me just make a comment.
I'm able to share. Okay.
How about now?
Yeah, I'm able to share the screen. So don't worry. Can you guys see my screen?
You can see your screen.
Okay. Yeah. So hi everyone. My name is Sam, and I'm a software engineer. I've been working with Flutter for quite some time. Since Flutter 0.8, that was in 2018, 2019, right there. Now, yeah, I've been doing Flutter ever since up to most recently where my role started switching and stuff. So, but I'm still a fan of Flutter. I'm a big fan and I really like it. I really like the problem that Flutter solves. Yeah, so yeah, I was privileged to be one of the part of the committee that selects the Flutter sessions for DroidCon last year, and I'm happy to share this session with you guys. So I hope you are all excited for this. Yeah, so I'll just first start with the event overview. So we have FlutterCon and DroidCon, which are being held together. Basically, this means that if you have a FlutterCon ticket, you can use that to access DroidCon and vice versa. So whichever ticket you'll have, be it FlutterCon or DroidCon, you can be able to access any of the events. They'll be the same venue. I think this was a trend that was started by FlutterCon and DroidCon Berlin last year, and it has spread to us. So I think it's really nice. The location most likely is in Nairobi, Kenya. Mm, it's not yet confirmed, but most likely it will be in Nairobi. So the venue will be announced soon. And the event highlights it will contain mostly Android, Kotlin, Flutter talks, React Native talks, or anything to do with Android, right? And since we also have FlutterCon, it can also include sessions for Flutter, like web, Flutter web, Flutter on iOS. So it's not strictly Android, but yeah, workshops and code labs. And we are hoping to have best-in-class speakers from Africa and worldwide, both within the country, outside the country, even worldwide. We're hoping to get speakers from all over the place. For the dates, call for speakers was open on the 19th of April. Alvin, please correct me if I'm wrong. And the call for speakers closes next week on the August 4th. Yeah. So yeah, in this session I'll just be taking you guys through, just in case if you have a session you'd like to share and how you can go about it. So we have 3 session formats that will be accepted. So you have the session, the normal session. So this is just an interactive session where you have your slides and maybe you present something, things like that. And then maybe slightly longer than a lightning talk. So this takes 40 minutes. A lightning talk, it's more of like a very quick talk, something you just want to share very quickly and get done with it. And we have a workshop. So our workshop might include something like a code lab where you'll be doing like something like lab coding on stage, or you'll be doing like demonstrations or something like that. So typically these sessions like this take longer. That's why they have been allocated 80 minutes. So basically double of what a normal session would be. So you'll find that most will be sessions, then a few lightning talks and a few workshops. Yeah. So I'll move on straight to submission guidelines. So title and description. I'll just let me just give me a second. I'll just open my browser and go to FlutterCon Kenya, and then I click submit my talk. So this is a typical way of how you'll submit your talk. So click submit session, then you'll have to log in. Let me just log in with my Google account. I also forgot to share that I'm also an organizer for FlutterCon, for Flutter Devs Kenya. Yeah. So you find that you have a title right here. So you'll have to fill this form according to what's required. So for the title and description, you should ensure that your title and the description match. You can't be having a, let me say, you can't have a title like Flutter for Web, Flutter Web Assembly, something like that. And then you start talking about native Android and Kotlin. Yes, in your description, the title should accurately reflect your topic. So if you have a specific title, just make sure it matches what description and what specific topic you'll be talking about. Make sure in your description you have takeaways. So have like 3 to 5 points that will make your talk stand out. Like for example, if you are presenting a session on WebAssembly in Flutter, and you can in your takeaway points you can mention something like WebAssembly will enable people running Flutter on the web have insights on how they can improve the performance of their application if they're facing performance challenges or something like that. Just make sure you have some key points, that you don't mind sharing to make that talk stand out, because you know the we have like lots of sessions, and the selection committee, they just skim through your session, so you must make it easy for them to see what you're trying to achieve. Experience level, you'll find that they'll also ask for your experience level, so just briefly detail your experience level so that even the speakers can understand where you're coming from. Like, what experience do you have? Do you have experience? You can't be sharing a session for a topic you don't have experience in, because you'll be misleading people. Or for example, if the guys ask you a question in the session, it might be hard for you to answer or to deliver that session effectively if you don't have any knowledge on that specific topic. Um, you also have to mention if you've given a session like this before. So this will also help in analyzing and see if your session will be accepted or not. Keywords. So as I told you, the speaker selection committee, they normally have lots of sessions. For example, remember last year, I don't know how many sessions we had, but we had a lot of sessions where you had to choose from, and going through them in deadlines, having like a strict timeline deadlines. These keywords really helped some sessions to get accepted. So make sure you have these keywords to make sure that this selectors, speaker selection committee, you can easily see a session and see what you're trying to achieve. So yeah, I'll go on to creating your proposal. In creating your title, choose a catchy title. Choose a title that will easily capture the attention of, of your audience, or even the speaker selection committee guys, so that your session can be accepted. Make that title very clear and engaging. Don't have like something very generic or something very dull. Just make your title catchy and engaging. In the description part, make sure it's very detailed and summarized. Don't make it too long. Don't write an essay. Just explain what you're going to achieve in the description and things like that. And then keep it clear and concise in detail. Takeaways. Make sure in your description you highlight the key takeaways, what the audience will learn. So I think I had mentioned this a few slides ago. Make sure that your audience we'll get to understand. Make sure you clearly outline what you think your audience is going to attain from that session. Add relevant keywords in your description. Make sure you add several keywords which will capture the attention of the speaker selection committee. Just to make it easier for the speaker selection committee to accept your talk, right? And submission, the process. Just as I said before, a few minutes ago, you just have to log into sessionaires.com, fill out the form, submit your proposal, review and submit before the deadline. So as you can see, we have the deadline for submitting the events as 4th of August next week. So just come log into Sessionaires, fill in the form, and then make sure submit by 4th of August at 11:59. And this will give your talk a chance to be accepted. You won't even be able to submit past this time. So just to go through what I've been able to share, these tips for a successful proposal or successful submission. Just be clear and concise. Avoid those difficult words. Be very specific on what you are trying to share with the audience. Engage your audience. Think of what in your description. Think of what will really engage your audience. Like just mention of things that will capture the interest of the audience. For example, if you're talking about WebAssembly in Flutter, just can't talk about that without telling people why is it necessary, why would you want to do this, because it will definitely improve the performance of your app. So that's something you can look at. Show your enthusiasm for the topic and why you really like it. You can even share some personal projects that you've been able to work with using the topic that you're going to speak about. If personally I really love WebAssembly, I can share maybe some repositories where I've been able to work on that. If I have a project that I use that, I can share if it's possible for me to share. Just show your enthusiasm for the topic to shine through. Follow the guidelines. As you can see, we have some guidelines on the form that you're filling. So just make sure you follow the guidelines to the letter for it to be approved. So I don't know if any one of you guys has a question concerning what I've just shared.
I have a question, Sam.
Huh?
I have a question.
Yeah, shoot your question.
So what if, because a lot of people are submitting proposals at once. So what if I submit a session? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. But
yeah. So what if I submit a session that somebody else has submitted, or say like 3 more people have submitted the same topic? So what criteria will be used in evaluating between those similar topics?
Yes, just as I had said before, we capture some information in your description. The way you can just read the description and you'll find that maybe someone's description is better. So obviously, we'll pick the better description. We'll also factor in the experience one has on a specific topic. So you can even see if it's a topic that you shared before, that really shows that you have experience in that topic and things like that. So it's basically like a comparison and see which description fits better. Those are very like tricky situations mostly because sometimes you feel like this people have submitted like have like a lot of similarities, but you have to make that difficult decision to pick one. So the way you submit, the way you write your description and the way you submit that following all the guidelines will make a session shine over the other. It might be hard, but we'll definitely find a difference.
Okay.
That's
What Yeah, yeah, it was a my question. And also, what if I am a beginner learning Flutter, just started learning Flutter, and a particular topic is engaging, but I don't have much experience in it. Like, let's say I just like I mean, 2 months of learning Flutter already. Can I submit a CFP, or do they only consider the experts in the field?
Just as I've said, we it's important to capture the years of experience, but also from a description, if we see the enthusiasm and we see uh, your expertise, even though if you're a beginner, you can show some level of expertise in that specific field. That will also help your session to be accepted. Kendi, you have your hand up?
Yeah, that was a very nice session, Sam. Thank you so much. I also wanted to contribute to the question that has been asked by Elixir. That's a very good question. However, that's a very good question. In as much as you don't have like much experience in a particular topic that you're submitting, I would still encourage you to submit, because the more you prepare your mind to speak about a particular topic that you're not fully you don't fully know, it gives you like the urge to go and do more research about it and to improve on it a lot. For instance, I'll give you an example of myself. Last year, I gave a talk on Gen Gen and FFI Gen, basically trying to do the interlock between the native and the cross-platform. It was a topic that I didn't know quite well, but then it was also a very kind of a unique topic. But then it put me in a position to do more research on it, and I ended up giving like an amazing topic on a topic that I didn't know very well. And when I attend like another event, somebody told me, you know, the topic that you gave last year, we used it as a reference for our talk in this year. So I would very much encourage you to just submit and do a whole lot more research on it.
Thank you, Candy. Thank you. Thank you. Does anyone have a question?
Yeah, maybe let me shoot one. Hey Sam, can CFP talk be rejected? Maybe because the description lacks something. Maybe it's not that much. It doesn't show capture the experience level for this individual person. Yet they have submitted that particular CFP.
I'd say the way you write your description will really boost the chances of your position being accepted. So um, I don't know if I have an example. Let me just see if I have an example. Uh, but I hear that you mentioned mostly experience, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think. Okay, can you please rephrase your question, please, so that I can answer it well.
Okay. I was saying, can a CFP talk be rejected? Maybe because the description that I've provided, maybe it lacks that bit touch of experience in it.
No,
Like it
that can.
doesn't fully capture your grasp in that particular topic.
Yes. So if your description shows shallowness or something like that, that unfortunately can affect your the session. So you can't have like generic description. So for example, if you're speaking about performance, you want to share something about performance of Flutter apps or Android apps. You can't just have the description to say something like, in this session, I'll be teaching my audience to the best practices for them to make the app faster. That's a very generic. That's a very generic, I'd say, description. You have to be specific what you're going to talk about or things like that. So, yeah, in the experience part, I think we have this level which you can basically share, and we can select like the specific level of the topic which you'll be sharing. So if it's for an expert, things like that. And also for the session that Olvin, for the question that Olvin asked, if you put your level as a beginner speaker, so for example, if you've never spoken before, something like that, if you select this level correctly, you can be highly considered for that role, especially in the community day. So the community day is normally the first day where people are still interacting, and you can practice your speaking skills and share your knowledge there and things like that. So yeah, just make sure your description really captures your experience in that specific field, that specific topic.
Yeah, okay. Sure, noted that. Another question is for the description, is there a character limit? Like,
No, we don't have a character limit, but don't keep it too short or too long. Keep it average size, just like a paragraph or something. Yeah. Also, another thing I forgot to mention, also, as you can see, you can only have like 3 submissions. You don't have to submit one topic. You can submit multiple topics. That can increase your chances of being accepted. Maybe if you want to talk about this, about this, about that. Yeah. You can even be accepted for multiple topics, but again, we'll see. Yeah. But yeah.
okay. Another question. For these talks, is it an individual talk or can it be like a group talk? Like the two of you go up on stage to deliver the talk that you had submitted? Or is it only a sole individual person's talk that is being submitted?
Great question. So in the bottom of the form, you'll see that you have the co-speakers section. So these are optional fields. You can add that up to a maximum of 3 co-speakers. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Do you have any other question?
Okay. I think I do. So
Huh?
once I've submitted my session, when I edit my submission, let's say I remember that I omitted something out. So like can I go back and edit it and submit again?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. Um, but I think once you submit, let me just confirm. Let me see some of my sessions that I did. Was it accepted? Let me just look at. Yes. Uh, I'm not sure. From what I'm seeing on this dashboard, these are from like my former talks that I've ever given. It was accepted, but I can change it. So I don't know. I don't know if for Dreadcon it will be the same. I don't know if Ken, do you have any information around that?
Not not I'm also not very sure about it, but I think sometimes it's usually possible to edit your submission before the call for speaker ends. That's what I know. I'm really not sure.
Yeah, I think I think if you can, because the speaker selection will start maybe after the way after the not way after, but sometime after the call for speaker has ended. Um, Once you've submitted, and then you can just go back and try and edit before the call for speakers ends.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Does anyone else have a question? If you have a question, you can just like if you don't feel like speaking on the mic, you can just drop it on the chat section. Well, if there is none, think I'll ask Sam also as a question. Which is not like okay. not a question per se, but think a point we would like to drive. So Sam, why should I submit a CFP? So like after submitting and I've been accepted, like so what really am I to gain from all this? So why is it worth submitting?
See, yeah, submitting a session has several benefits. It gives you the ability for you to share your knowledge, and by you sharing your knowledge, you basically let people know that I'm an expert in this field and things like that. And this basically comes in handy um, in future opportunities, things like that. Yeah. So I'll give a personal experience. Um, I didn't speak in let me say like a big event like BreadCon or FlutterCon, but I had like my first talk from the first talk I ever gave. I got my first like someone approached me from the audience and then they asked me have this project that we're working on. I was still in school back then. He thought that what I had presented was really nice and their team could use some of that skill. So it gives you exposure to some of these things. Another thing gives you this networking opportunities with industry experts, peers, things like that. So that's another one. Um, it also helps in boosting your career if you are really good. Yeah, because if you can't just be speaking and then maybe let me say you don't really put any effort to upscale and level up. It will boost your career if if you really have determination and you're really good at that field. It can enhance your CV, things like that. Um, growth opportunities, kuongea mbele ya watu ikuwa rahisi, but doing it a few times or once, twice, it gives you that confidence. Yeah, things like that. So it has a lot of benefits. They are endless. Those are just some of the few ones that I can think of on the top of my head. Yeah. So those networking opportunities really come in handy. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. So this is going to be the last call for questions. So like, does anyone have a question on this particular point? Okay. See if there's none.
Um,
Kelly.
I want to add on what Sam has said. I also think another benefit of you submitting a talk is you're able to show people how you solved a particular challenge that you had. You see, like those like those lightning session, I've come to realize sometimes people come and show people how did I navigate through a particular problem that I wasn't able to fix, or rather that was eating my mind for some time. So it's somehow like a way of showing people how you solved a particular problem. And yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Somebody once told me that the best way of somebody growing is by sharing that knowledge with somebody else, and having the opportunity of sharing your knowledge at FlutterCon. I think it's really amazing, and it can give you a lot of growth as an individual. So yeah, thank you guys. Thank you guys for joining. And before I wrap it up, uh, can you give us, is there anything you want to add on what you have been discussing today before I wrap it up?
Well, I'm very happy that you've decided to host this event because most people usually don't know how to submit proper proposals. And being in a team where I review submissions, it's sometimes discouraging to see what people are submitting. But thank you so much for doing this. And thank you, Sam, for speaking and doing an elaborate work on how to submit your proposals. I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are gonna bring up. I'm looking forward to seeing your ideas and all. And also, I'm always advocating for girls and women to submit their talks. Even if you want to like do a co-speaking session with somebody, don't be scared. Please just do it. And yeah, I look forward to seeing your amazing submissions.
Okay, thank you, Candy. Now I'll go to Sam for your closing remarks. But before you do, there's a question for you in the chat. So someone is asking how will they know if their session is selected?
So you will get feedback from the organizers that congratulations, your submission has been accepted, and then you're gonna have like some rules on what to follow and where to click to acknowledge that you want to be a speaker of that particular session. So an email is usually sent to you. Also, when your session is not accepted, you also get an email about it too.
Hey, hope that's clear, Betsy. So Sam, closing remarks. Last words.
Yeah, I'll just emphasize on what Kendi has said. Guys, please submit sessions. We'd like to see more new faces in like the speaking sessions and things like that. So yeah, new speakers are really highly considered. So please make it a mission for you to submit and yeah, and hope your session will be accepted. What are the guidelines? And yeah, it's fun. It's fun coming from someone who's spoken before. It's fun. And you really enjoy it. So, yeah, that's it for me.
Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you, Candy, for your input to this. We really appreciate it. And I was hoping to see a lot of people from Flutter Kisumu applying for this. And I'm expecting to see you on stage on this from 6th to 8th of November this year. Bruce, could you please wrap it up for us?
Yes. So
Bruce, are you there?
hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Okay. Sorry, I had some network issues. So maybe before we wrap it up, maybe just a late question. Can someone submit a talk for their product? Like maybe you have a team that created a product, maybe a Flutter product, so they want to deliver a session on how they just achieved that particular product. And maybe the tools they used, the methodology they used, and so on, just as a way to just give back to the people to how the process they used to create that particular application. Is that allowed or?
Yeah, I think that's allowed. Just make sure it keeps. Just make sure it stays like within the legal. You know, some guys that maybe you have signed an NDA or something like that. Maybe just
Mhm.
what you're sharing is something that maybe if it's your product or if maybe
Mhm, mhm.
one, just make sure it's something you're comfortable with saying something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Candy.
Yeah, I
Just
wanted
go
to
ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to add on. Yes, you can do that. However, you're not allowed to do like marketing for your company also. But if you wish to do like some sort of marketing on that, then you have to either sponsor the event, so that all the sponsors are given like an opportunity to like speak about their product, and also to kind of market it. But if you want to like show the technology that you used to build it, then that's allowed. It's, for example, I don't know if you know companies like Widgetbook or Flutter Flow. Like anytime Flutter has like big events, these companies usually are given a chance to speak about their product and how they are solving problems. So that's like
Yeah, okay. Okay. The last one, I think this is speaking to everyone. Maybe what's your piece of advice for someone who is a beginner and maybe is afraid to speak to a bigger crowd and wants to submit a session?
mm, I, would- I would say the very best. Okay, for me, when I started speaking to bigger crowds, I started by first speaking with someone. But then later on, I realized I can actually do it by myself. So it's a matter of you first believing in yourself and taking the first push on your very own. Um, just basically believe in you. And also, if it's something that you're very passionate about, you tend to talk more about something that you really know well and you're very much passionate about. So I think you shouldn't be scared. You should just take the first step. You're gonna be nervous, but it's okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's all from my side. I think that's some piece of work for takeaways that we have. Uh, be proud. Do not fear talking in front of big crowds, even if you're a beginner. So thank you for that. Thank you, Candy. Thank you, Sam, for that amazing talk. I think most of our members, we had some doubts and some meetings sessions because of that fear for speaking to large crowds. But for this, knowing that you can also have a co-speaker, I think that makes work a bit easier. So you can go the two of you and support each other at the front. Yeah, thank you everyone for coming in, sacrificing your 1 hour to staying tuned in, and yeah, hopefully we meet to see another meeting.
Hey,
Yeah,
I think that's a wrap. Goodbye, yeah.
yeah, bye.